Hey there, welcome to Craft Central Designs. Okay, my Dollar Tree item for this week is the glass candle holder plates from the Dollar Tree. I created 3 pretty and functional DIYs from these glass plates, as well as other items from the Dollar Tree. If you are new stopping by my channel today, I have a weekly feature on my channel where I choose a Dollar Tree item and I make 3 different DIYs from that challenge item. Please remember to subscribe if you are not currently, so you will be notified each and every time I upload a tutorial, and I do so 2 to 3 times weekly with home, holiday, and gift decor DIY tutorials. As well, I hope you will give this video a thumbs up and leave me your comments and let me know which of the 3 is your favorite. Okay, let me show you the 3 DIYs I have for you this week and how I created them. You may hear some popping going on in the background. It's unavoidable. It is July 4th, and there are a lot of fireworks going off outside. So I hope you're not going to hear those, but you might hear a popping noise every now and then. Okay, for DIY number 1, I have these Jenga blocks from the toy department at the Dollar Tree. Now, they come in 2 different shades. I'm just using the lighter ones. And I have here that glass candle plate. This is found near the candle holders and the candles in the aisle at the Dollar Tree. Now, I'm going to be making this piece so that glass plate fits right onto this holder that I'm creating out of Jenga blocks. They're going to need 23 Jenga blocks. 2 of them I cut in half with my miter shears, and I'll show you that. I'm going to put that in the description box as well, the number of Jenga blocks that you will need. I'm just going to be using some wood glue, gluing these Jenga blocks together, and I'm going to be creating a stand for that glass plate to sit on, which could serve as a candle holder or a faux plant holder or just a dish to place random items, whatever you want to put on it. Okay, so I'm going to start with the center piece, which is formed like an X or a cross. And you can see there where I place those 3 half of Jenga blocks. So you could do a little screenshot, stop the video and do a screenshot so that you can duplicate that when you do your piece. But you're going to need 23 Jenga blocks, 2 of them cut in half. And after I cut up in half those Jenga blocks, I use my little zip sander to just sand off any little rough edges so that I would have a nice flush application of one Jenga block to the other. Now, if you measure it out, it comes out about 6.5 inches. It doesn't have to be an absolutely perfect 6.5 inches in both directions. It still is going to turn out just fine in the end, but try and get it as close as you can to that. But if you follow the plan that you see me doing here as I'm gluing these together, it will turn out to be each of the pieces 6.5 inches in both directions, if that makes sense. So I'm using Gorilla wood glue, and I'm just going to glue the ends one to the other and create my little cross section there. And you can see in that cross section, I only have one of the half Jenga blocks, but in the other section, I have 2. So you could see how I'm placing that together there. Now I want to, press these together so I get a good flush application without, and, as seamless as possible. Well, this turns out to be a pretty sturdy piece, considering it's Jenga blocks, but the wood glue really holds really, really well. So you're just going to be gluing all of these pieces together to create that cross piece there. Now for the ends, we're going to be using 4 Jenga blocks for each of those 4 ends, and I'll show you that here in just a minute. And I also made sure if I got any, any glue that oozed out, I made sure that I took a rag and wiped that off, because the way wood glue dries, it dries kind of yellow, and I didn't want to see that on my piece. So now I'm going to start creating the ends, and I'm going to glue 2 of those Jenga blocks together. And again, be sure you wipe off any glue that oozes out. And then I'm going to glue the other 2 together. And those 2 pieces are going to be glued together on the ends. And this is going to create the stand that's going to hold that cross section of the Jenga blocks. And the way that we're going to glue these on the ends, I'm going to show you here in a second. I have a good method of doing that. I've made quite a few of these stands with larger pieces of wood and bigger dowels and such. But this one is just for this small candle plate. And so it doesn't have to be made with bigger dowels. This will hold just fine. So you could see that I put those 4 pieces together. I put the 2 together, and I glued both of those pieces together on the ends, as you see right there on the table. Now I'm looking again to see if I'm pretty much on target with the evenness, if you will, of the pieces of that stand. I'm going to do the same thing to all the other 3 pieces. Now, I took a can. Actually, it was I believe a tuna can, and I'm going to place that cross piece on there. It's all dry now, and this is how I'm going to glue on my end pieces. I'm simply going to place those on the end. And I'm going to put, obviously, put wood glue there, but I'm just seeing how everything is coming together there before I actually glue them. But it's going to work just fine. And then I'm just going to glue those pieces to the ends of my cross piece. This is so easy to do, you guys. So easy. So now I'm just going to go ahead and put my wood glue on each of the ends of that cross piece. And then I'm going to place my end pieces right up next to it into the glue. Make sure they're nice and straight and that I have them centered to that cross piece. And I'll show you what I mean by that here in a second. See, I just center it on that piece of wood, on our little Jenga blocks end pieces there. Press it firmly. Make sure it's standing up nice and straight. If there's any wood glue that oozes out, you want to wipe that off. Is this easy or what? Oh my goodness. And it's so cute. Now, you could leave it. I left mine just natural. But if you like to, you could paint it. You could spray paint it. You could hand paint it. Whatever you like. If you wanted a different color, if you wanted it black or white. I'm leaving mine as I mentioned. in the natural color. You could also use 2 different colors of Jenga blocks if you wanted to do that as well. So just be creative with your stand, but I'm showing you the basic design. You do you, and create it whatever color you like. Now it's all dry. Look at that. So easy to do, right? Okay, so now I have my glass plate. Now you see some of a design on there. I'm going to explain that to you in just a moment, but I'm using that glass plate just to put on there. Now I'm going to show you. You can put, remember the glass bowl that I had on my video last week? That's that one. So you could use it as a candle holder, and that's a faux plant. You could use it to place a faux plant. I wouldn't necessarily put a live plant on there because the soil in the pot and all that, it's going to be a little bit heavy. So you might want to keep it on the light side, being that it's just Jenga blocks. Okay, number 2. I have to say, this is probably my favorite if I had to choose one. I have here these wood rings that you get in the Crafter Square section at the Dollar Tree. I think they're 2.6 inches. So you'll need 4 rings. You'll also need some very small plain wood beads. Now mine are very, very small, but I have seen these at the Dollar Tree. But if you need to get a tiny bit bigger, that should be okay. But you want to keep them small because I'm going to show you what we're going to do with those little beads. We're going to be stacking these wood rings to create a pedestal for that glass candle dish. And I absolutely love the way this turned out. So as you can see, that's the basic plan there. So I'm going to be taking those little wood beads. And again, I'm going to have my Gorilla Wood glue handy. I'm going to be using that. I'm going to place a dot of glue on the bottom of each of my beads. And I'm going to be creating, first of all, I'm creating feet for my pedestal. I'm going to be placing 3 beads on each of those wood rings. Now on this wood ring, that's going to serve as my feet. Now what I do is I place them so that they're spread out in sets of 3. Doesn't have to be perfect, but just eyeball it and place those on your ring in sets of 3. Here's number 3. Now we're going to be doing this on each one of the wood rings the same way. Don't worry, they don't have to match up when I put the piece together. So don't worry that they're perfectly exact like the one before it. Don't worry about that. Just place your 3 beads on there and I'll show you what we're going to do with it and why it's not going to matter if they're exactly even. So you're going to go ahead and finish up putting all of those little wood beads on in sets of 3 each wood ring. So you can either put the wood glue on the bead and set it down, or you could just place the little dot of wood glue right on the wood ring. Doesn't matter. Either or. You just want to try and spread them out evenly, 3 beads per wood ring. This was a really fun project. So simple, so easy to do. Actually, all 3 of these projects are so easy and so simple to do and so inexpensive, considering that all of the items came from the Dollar Tree. All right, so I'm letting you know there to go ahead and finish up the other 2. Now, I have here this glass plate, and what I have here are some feathers that I got. I actually got these on Amazon, but they have something similar on and the like the stamp department at Hobby Lobby. They're actually like a paper, and they're absolutely beautiful. I believe these are used for scrapbooking, and I'm going to put the information in the description box where I got mine on Amazon, but you could use rub-on transfers for this as well. Maybe you have some pretty floral transfers that you would like to use to dress up your dish. I just had the idea to use these. I remembered that I had them, and there's 3 different gorgeous kind of feathery. I think they're feathers, but they look kind of like leaves. Anyway, they're beautiful. They're like a doily, only they're in the shape of a feather. And again, these are for, I believe, for scrapbooking, but I'm going to use them for my glass dish to create a pretty design. Now, to me, this piece looks very boho. And again, as I mentioned in my last video, I am a boho lover. So for me, I wanted to leave the piece natural and then just put something pretty on the glass dish. So now I'm just going to take some Mod Podge, and I'm going to create a little palette there for my feather to lay into. And this is a very thin paper. These are absolutely gorgeous. Again, I got these on Amazon, but you could use rub-on transfers. Dollar Tree has rub-on transfers. In fact, I think they have some feathers like this. Not exactly this paper feather, but they do have a transfer there. I've seen it. So check out the stamp and transfer, rub-on transfer stencil department at the Crafter Square section. Okay, so after that dried a little bit, I'm going to now put a layer of Mod Podge all over the top of this just to seal that and make sure everything just stays down nice and smooth and secure. Now I'm going to stack my rings. Now, notice that I have the beads down for the little feet. Now I'm going to stack them, but I'm going to stagger them. You see how I did that? So that the beads are going to be in different places as you go up the piece. Do you see that? That's why I said don't worry if they're not exactly even, because the look I'm going for is those beads staggered all around that piece. Now you do want to have your rings lined up straight, but otherwise you can just place them down so that the beads are positioned differently on each piece. So I put a little dab of wood glue on there. Press that down. You see where my beads are hitting? Now the next one that I put down, I'm going to make sure I'm going to place my beads in between the 2 beads underneath it, or the 3 beads underneath it, on the ring underneath. If that makes sense, just watch what I'm doing. This is really, really easy to do. And I think it makes such a cute pedestal. I think this is a great piece to like put on your dresser, or maybe in the bathroom. You could even put this in a kitchen to put little items on. Maybe put your rings on when you're washing dishes, or whatever. You could put a small candle on this too as well. So there I am putting that dot of wood glue on there, and I'm putting the 4th one on there. Now I'm going to show you here in just a second, after I get these all nice and straight, how it looks from the side. You see that? There. And I just love this piece. I think it's so fun. And there it is, all nice and dried. Look how cute that is. And then it has the little feet. Now that glass candle holder dish is going to sit right on top of there. And look what a pretty piece this makes. Now, I didn't attach the glass plate. I don't think it's necessary to do that, but you do have a flat surface on the top. There's no beads on the top of there, so you could, if you wanted to, do that. Okay, number 3. This one couldn't be simpler. Just could not be simpler to make. Okay, another glass candle plate, and that's a candle holder piece from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to be placing that glass plate on top of there. I'm actually going to be using some Gorilla glue to adhere that, but I'm going to put a little decoration on the top. Now, I have some of these. The reason why I have these is because when I found the feathers on Amazon, I remember I was looking for a paper doily. So I put in the search box on Amazon, which, by the way, has the most amazing algorithms. It picks up just anything you put in there. It will show you a result for it. It's amazing. But anyway, so I was looking for paper doilies, and this came up. And it turns out it's like scrapbook papers used for scrapbooking. And again, I'll put that in the description box. But it came with a whole selection of the most beautiful paper doilies. I am crazy for these. I can see how I'm going to be using some of these in Christmas decor. You'll be seeing this, I guarantee, because my wheels have already been turning on something I could do with those. But some of them are so pretty, they could serve as on a Christmas decor piece. So I'm deciding here which one of them I like the best. It was a tough decision because they were so pretty. And again, I know I've seen something like this at Hobby Lobby. But again, if you would like, you could put rub-on transfers on here. Some floral transfers would be very pretty on this piece. This piece is, again, I imagine it to be for trinkets. Boy, the fireworks are going off like crazy. I don't know if you can hear that, but I'm going to be, obviously I have some Mod Podge there, and I just put that little beautiful little, I think it's just looks like a doily, only it's paper. And I put that on there. I'm just going to let that dry. Then I'm going to put a couple of coats of Mod Podge over that to seal it. And as I started to say, I can imagine this for like putting trinkets or earrings or your rings when you take off your rings. Something like that in the bathroom or on your dresser or your nightstand. And how simple is that? It's so simple, but yet it's so pretty. I use this Gorilla Glue. It's good for gluing glass to glass, and it's clear, and I just love this glue. You could as well use E6000, but I like this glue. I'm not a great fan of E6000. Always there's an issue with the tube. I don't know why, but it's always an issue with the tube. Okay, so you want to get that centered, and I found the best way to do that is to turn it over and just look at it from the underside and put that glass pedestal piece on there. It's all dried. The Mod Podge is all dry. And there you have it. A very pretty little piece. So simple. So easy to make. Item number 3. And there you have it, all 3 items. And I hope you love this one. This is my number 2 in my series. My new feature, creating items from Dollar Tree materials. Okay, leave me your comments. Give this video a thumbs up if you would, please. And subscribe. Okay?